I got flagged again last week by YouTube. They keep flagging me for my music. It's all good. Give me a second while I set up here. Ooh, whatnot is whatnotting. Getting a little spinning wheel of problems here. Let's see. Try it one more time. Oh boy. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. I'm also collecting pictures for for a commission. I have to do Spider-Man and Pikachu, and that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. There we go. What's this? Um, Maybe one more picture. Don't forget to vote. Oh my God, it's the finals, the mega finals of Sketch Cover Madness. It started in March, first week of March. So we've gone through March, April, and now we're three-quarters of the way through May. Insane how time flies. Um, we had 8 rounds of color pieces, 8 rounds of black and white pieces. These are the winners of their respective rounds. They made it all the way to the finals. So vote for your favorite. Similar theme. There were other characters other than Spider-Man and Green Goblin that were in the contest, but the finals are Spidey and Green Goblin versus Spidey and Green Goblin in a jam piece. So vote for your favorite. There are no wrong answers, and it's free. How can you beat free? Free to vote. If you're like me and you're a flipper, like a channel surfer here on Whatnot, you can channel surf to this stream, put your vote in, and stream on. And I will thank you for it. Thanks for visiting. Don't forget to follow us. We're on our way to 2,100 followers. Don't forget to follow me here on Instagram. I'm closing in on 3,000 followers. Look out, social media folks. Wow, look at this one. I'm collecting reference for Pikachu. Because we're going to be doing a commission today of the Peak himself. The Peak. Okay, here we go. So it looks like Whatnot is behaving. Is this episode 269 already? Cool. So it looks like a slightly different interface the last couple weeks from what I'm used to. There's a lot of extra white stripes, scrolling stripes and things. Let me check. Is my store loaded? I tried to update my store yesterday. Let's see if it worked out. Added a few pieces that I noticed weren't there. Subtracted a couple pieces that have sold out. I've got a few prints that I'm working out of the system, so I removed those. I've got a lot of sketchbooks still for sale. I probably won't do another sketchbook until I've sold out of these. I'm not sure if I should do it that way or not, but that's my thought process. Also, anything you buy today, I offer a COA, Certificate of Authenticity. You can find that in the bin. Item number 080 is a certificate of authenticity. If you're interested in a commission, you would scroll in the Buy It Now section to item 100. That's a full figure sketch cover commission. Item 101 is a head/bust commission. And 102, 103, 104, those are add-ons for background or an additional figure or color. 105 is an upgrade if you want some of the more exclusive sketch covers that I have to pay extra for. 201. Oh, I see I've screwed up already. Isn't that interesting? Okay. 201. There's two 201s. We only need one. 201 is the Spider-Man Jam Piece starter upper. It looks something like this. Very funny. Well, I thought I just collected all of my jam pieces and all my commissions together, but it looks like I haven't. So 202 is a Venom jam piece. Oh, there we go. Another problem here. Let's you can't have two item 202s. So let's get rid of that one. 203, 204, 205, 206, two 206s. You can't have two 206s. Okay, good to know. 207, 208, 209. You can't have two 209s. Not sure how that happened. 210, 211, 212, 213. We got two 213s. Not sure how that happened, but okay. Let's clean that up. 214, 215. Can't have two 215s either. Let's see. Give me a second. Okay. Well, quite a few mistakes in the mix. Let's get those taken care of. 215, 214, 216, 217, 218, 225, 226. We already have that listed. It's number 210. So let's get rid of 226. And we've got 240, which is the big boy. 241, which is another big boy. 250, 251, 251. Two 251s. How does that happen? Let's change that. Let's see. Standby. 220. Let's change that. Edit. Item. Oof. Oh, Whatnot, you're so glitchy and annoying. Glitchy and annoying at the same time. Okay, I'm not sure how to fix this. Oh, Whatnot, how glitchy you are. And annoying. Let's see. Okay, back to 200. 201, 202, 203, 204, 205, 206, 207, 208, 209 is Black Cat, 210 is the Venom Web Shot, 211 is MJ as Venom, 212 is Daredevil in color, 213 is the Sharknado Spider Man, 214 is Spidey 2099, 215 is Spidey 2099, 220 is Spider Man Super Special with a remark. You're getting the comic book for free. I usually charge 80 for a color remark nowadays. Let's see, 250, 251, 252, another 252. Love how this works. Edit item 221. This one 221. Okay, back down to 221. Let's see. Make sure that that's registered correctly. I'm so glad I checked through this now while I'm live. Let's see. I should have done this earlier today. 250, 299. That means we can get rid of. Oh, Miles Metal is 299. Let's change Miles Metal to 298. Let's change Batman to 298. Okay, let's get rid of item number 000. Delete, because item 000 is now 298. All right, and that brings my new Zodiacs back to the top of the bin, which is my favorite thing to do. That's why I'm here on Whatnot, is to promote my comic series, which is quite great, and I can't wait to do more. I need a steady accountant to handle my finances, and I need an assistant to take care of incidentals and postage and packaging, and I need a website person. So if anybody is interested, fire your resume at me, joe at astronautegg.com. Let's see, 250, 251, 252, 298, 299, 300, 301, 302, 303, 304, 305. I went through all the prints yesterday and numbered them all so that all the numbers are tight and no spaces between any. 15, 16, 17, 18. I probably should have done them in alphabetical order, but it doesn't look like I did that. 23, 24, 26, 26, 226s. How come? Let's get rid of that one. Delete item. 220, 327, 2 327s. Why so? Who knows? I was probably working with a glitchy Whatnot yesterday too when I was creating these items. 328, 329, 330, 331, 332. Doctor Strange, one of my favorite pieces that does not sell at all. I think I sell one at a show. 334, 35, 336. That's Headshot Spider Man with and without Venom. 337, 338, 339. There we go. And then we've got the Neo original art pages. And I didn't get that. I didn't get past Neo yesterday, so I think there are Cousteau pages as well. Yeah, yeah, there they are, Cousteau pages. And then we've got a very special appearance by a sketch, not by me. It's by my friend Neil Vokes. He draws Batman quite well. Outstanding drawing. Happy to keep it. But I don't have really an original art collection anymore. I kind of sold it off little by little. Slow, painful death by a thousand cuts. So I'm not really keeping an original art collection. So I'm happy to sell the Neil Vokes drawing for the right price. Let's see. And then I've got some items from my comic book collection are in the bin. Mm, a lot of good stuff in here, actually. Okay, what's going on in the chat? Anything special? Let's see. It looks like I've fine tuned my bin. Hopefully my auction is okay. Batman Inc. with Joker remark. Okay, let's see. Let's check out the chat. What do we have here? Art of Kyle Willis in the house. Vote for your favorite, Kyle. Let us know who you voted for. Good morning, everyone, says Miss Mayhem. Miss Mayhem, VIP, right in the house. Hello, everyone, says Ange. Stream on. Hello to everybody who joined. I hope you all voted. Oh, we got 17 votes. Cool. That's quick. RM Ditto says, Good morning, Joe. I love my Abs Bats cover you drew. It is so amazing. It looks better in person, right? Angry Geeks, my brother. Hey, yo, no worries on the hang up the other night. I know I was on the Angry Geeks podcast on Monday, and we were kind of chatting after it was all over. That was pretty crazy, right? And we were chatting after it was over, and I somehow hung up. Lewis is using, I don't know, different software that I'm used to because I had some trouble getting onto the conference call, and I had to download all this Chrome and stuff like that, and I was having trouble. So I'm not familiar with the software, and you know what happens when you're not familiar with the software. Shit goes south, and I hung up by mistake on Lewis and Sophia. I apologize. Sugar's sweet, and so is honey by a commission. So Joe makes some. Oh yeah. Oh, I said that. I should have said that like oh yeah, brother, like me. Sugar's sweet, and so is honey. Buy a commission so Joe makes money. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I've got to have my leather fringe jacket when I say it too. Nice. All right, so we're gonna draw a picture for our mutual friend Eric Yako, who asked for Spider-Man and Pikachu. So I'm gonna work on that now. Can you tell how prepared I am today? I can't. Cool. Let's see. Let's do the one that's not dinged so hard. Jeez Louise, look at this. You can't send dinged paper to me, Mr. Art. Mr. Art, how dare you? That's right. I sent Mr. Art an email. I'm like, look, you can't send me. I buy a lot of stuff from them, including pads like this. I'm like, you can't send me pads that look like they've been dropped out of a 3-story building. You can't do it. It's not allowed. I can't work with it. This one's a little bit better. Let's do this. This one's for Eric's nephew, I think, who likes Pikachu and Spider-Man. You should draw what I asked and send that to Eric as a goof. Spider-Man and Pika? That's right. I'll see you on Saturday. That's right. I'll be at Wicked Comic Con in Boston, Massachusetts on Saturday. Who else is going? My buddy Lewis. Who else? Is Sophia going? Yep. Sophia and I. Cool. Yeah, I'm not sure. Eric said he's not sure he's gonna make it because he's got 2 stores to manage. That could be a problem. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. We did Absolute Batman last week. We did Vampirella with an AI castle background last week. Because Angel likes to sneak that AI past me. Let's see. Okay, I need a blue pencil. Where's my blue pencil at? Here it is. I need a sharpened blue pencil. Stand by while I sharpen this little doodad. Here we go. Draw Sophia and I and send it to Eric as a goof. Oh, that would be funny. That would be good. But I know you said you wanted to be Lone Ranger and you wanted Sophia to be Tonto. I don't know if Sophia even knows who Tonto is. She won't appreciate it. We got all kinds of stuff going on today. Are we live? Are we still live? Okay. Oh. All right. Ranger and Tonto, yes, she does. We have a whole video about Kimosabe. It's hilarious. Still here, says RM. Thank you, RM. My phone is dinging and ringing. Let's see, Spider-Man. This is for Eric, and Eric's not here. So if anybody decides that they want to have a commission made of their own, that's totally fine. Just let me know, and I'll set Eric's piece aside because it doesn't really have a deadline like you guys have. Let's see. So I need reference. Pikachu, so cute. Very, very cute. Hmm. Hmm. I'm not sure what's going on here. Hold on a second. 1 second. All right. Let's see. I gotta somehow I collected 3 pictures of Pikachu and somehow he's tied to like a whole bunch of balloons. Is that a thing he does? Or she? I don't even know if Pikachu is a boy or not. Or if do they have sexes in Pokemon? I can't tell. I don't think I've seen one episode of Pokemon. What's going on with this? Someday we'll learn how to use computers. I'm really a fish out of water since I lost my computer. I used to have a Cintiq tablet, and I would just draw. If I needed an email or something, I'd take my pen, I'd grab the email, I'd open an email, I'd start typing in the email, I'd push send with the pen, and now you got to do this thing where you have your finger on a mouse pad, and I'm like, what bullshit is this? I'm just not used to it. I'm totally crashing here. And then try to use Clip Studio after you've been using Photoshop for 30 years. It's not the same thing. It's really a pain in the ass. But me, pencils and paper. Where's the manual for this? I need a 300-page manual. I need to go to Google for a half hour to look at how do you work a pencil and a paper? How do you do that? I need to chase down Google experts for the next half hour. No, it's a piece of paper and a pencil. You just draw on the shit. What the hell, man? Get off my lawn. Lewis knows. Gotta go, Joe. Work phone ringing. See you Saturday or talk later. Look forward to it, my brother. You're the man, the myth, and the magic of Angry Geeks. Follow them here on Whatnot. I don't know what he does on Whatnot. I think he probably just buys shit. Because I don't think I've ever seen Angry Geeks go live on Whatnot. The low tech magic of a piece of paper and a pencil can never be duplicated electronically by any machine. Sorry. I thought Pikachu had a little bit of a cheek. Neither of these pictures show Pikachu with a cheek. Blah. I'm going to give him a cheek. I don't know if it's on model or not, but he wants a cheek in my drawing. Pikachu, you're getting a cheek, buddy. Look at that. Jesus. He just you draw a line of action and you're already halfway there with his body. That's so cool. The simplicity. We love it. We love it. Where's Spidey going now? Looks like my mailman is here. I gotta get some packages out in my lobby before somebody walks off with them. I have a friend. His name is, I'm not sure if he wants his name, but his name is Scott. He lives in Brooklyn, New York, and I guess they have quite a bit of front porch piracy in Brooklyn, where people really uh, they case other people's houses and they steal packages that are delivered. It's like that's not cool, man. I once had a package swiped right here in my building. I ordered a pair of sneakers, athletic shoes, and never got them. And they had a photo showing that it was delivered. I have a theory that it was the delivery person who took them, to be honest. But they were the store was kind enough to um, send me another pair, so that was cool. I instead of having them delivered, I went and picked them up at my local store. You guys have trouble like that? What do they call it? Porch piracy or something like that? So I got to go prevent porch piracy. I'll be right back. Ooh, baby, baby, baby. I have been doing a little buying spree lately. It's not good. I love comics. What can I say? Porch Pirates, says RM Ditto. It is rare where I live, but it does happen. I had a package of extremely rare parts for the camera I was working on get stolen. Same thing, photo of the delivery and everything. I had to search all over the world to find another set. Oh, that really sucks. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, if you're talking about like rare parts, that's not good. A few times um, I've had to case. I live in an apartment complex, so there's about 6 buildings here, and so on a few occasions I've had to go to other buildings to find my package. That has happened quite a bit. They'll send you a photo of the delivery, and it's not the same lobby. Thank God, even though that these are all the same model buildings, they do look different somehow. And so sometimes you can tell one lobby from the other when you go visit the other buildings. Mm, and I think I mentioned this last week. I have my first whatnot sketch in a Gemini mailer arrived damaged. That is something. Gemini mailers are designed specifically for protection, right? But Regenerative is the guy's handle here. He sent me photos, clearly uh, damaged items. Not cool. Not cool. So I bought these sleeves. There's the Amazing Spider-Man jammer I was looking for. I just randomly grabbed this sketch, and this is what I was looking for earlier. Ridiculous. Okay, so somebody's playing tricks on me here in the apartment. Let's see. So I bought these kind of what do they call these, top loaders to send sketches with from now on, but they're expensive. They're like $3 a piece. Um, I guess you got to pay for stuff, right? But I'm not sure how long I'll be doing that, but I'm going to try sending my sketches in the future with these top loaders for protection. Also, I'm not sure really what protection these give because they're really much more fragile than I thought. And they have these film things on them. What the hell do you need the film for? What do you need this for? I'm on fire today. This would make a cool sticker. Sure. Where's Kyle? Is Kyle still here? Kyle just pops in. He's like a celebrity. He pops in and pops out. Don't forget to vote for your favorite sketch. It's the finals. Whoever wins this round is the 2026 full color champion. And if you guys are interested, tomorrow, Thursday at noon, I will have today's winner go against the black and white champion. I can't show you the black and white champion because Ainge has the black and white tape desktop. Ainge asked for it. I forgot which one won. It was the Clayton Crane, right? Death of Eddie Brock inside the in the cemetery. Black a black costume piece on a black cover, right? That was the winner, right? This one right here. So tomorrow's contest will be whoever wins against that one. You said this is a Spidey commission? It is Spidey and Pikachu. I draw your art, bro. Deadpool. Nice. Mr. Art Pool. RM Ditto says, yeah, sometimes the postman does care and just forces him. Yeah. Dude, you should see one of the boxes I just got today. Again, that there's a 3-story rule, I think. Amazon is the worst. As a matter of fact, fun story. I ordered 30 of these via eBay because I'm not an Amazon person. I'm anti-Amazon. I'm actively anti-Amazon. I ordered these top loaders from eBay, and apparently they have an Amazon store or something. But son of a booger, if I so it was 3 packs of 10, son of a booger, if one of the packs wasn't sliced open. That happens to me every single time I order from Amazon. I get damaged goods or the items are sliced open or something like that. It's really quite disgusting. I don't know why people use Amazon. It's redonkulous. Every single time I ordered chickpeas from Amazon once, and I opened the box, and 2 packages of chickpeas are sliced open and they're poured out all over the inside of the box. I will never, I will aggressively avoid Amazon at all costs. And so should you, by the way, because he's a corrupt motherfucker. So, let's move on. Next. Remember, this is a PG-13 stream. I didn't think I was going to be on fire today. I thought I was going to have a nice, smooth stream, and you guys would give me all happy rabbit talk and stuff. I went and exercised today because I got to lose 25 pounds like immediately. And I went and exercised today. I thought I was in a good mood. But you get me fired up, chat. Let's see. It just may just be you and me here. Yeah, it's because I'm fired up. That's why. What the hell? That sucks. You're not a fan of Jeff Bees either. Yeah, F Jeff Bees. It's very frequent that I'll early parts of the show I get few to no people in my chat, so it's perfectly fine. I'm here. I'm usually sitting at my desk when I'm not trying to learn Clip Studio. I'm usually sitting at my desk 9 to 5, usually 7 a.m. to 5. Um, so I'm doing what I would normally be doing, whether I'm here on Whatnot or not. So that's basically how I look at it. So if nobody comes by while I'm working, that's okay. I would prefer to make cash, but I'm already I already have the option to make cash by doing commissions and by doing New Zodiacs art. So it's all good. I welcome people who stop by and get a commission or buy some books. Those people I love. I love people that buy my New Zodiacs comics. I love them. Oh, sugar. He's got a lightning bolt tail too, doesn't he? Not used to drawing Mr. Pika. Let's see. Sure enough. Let's see. He might be a little too big. I might have to shrink him down. I'm going to have to shrink him down. I like that drawing. I like that gesture, though. Yeah, you add that tail. He needs to be reduced in size. And how about Spider-Man? I'll try a whole different pose with Spider-Man after I've worked this out. Okay, let's try this. I'm going to open up our scanner. Image capture alias. I do love watching you draw, and I love your work, and talking one on one with you is awesome. I know, it's cool, right? That's one of the things I like about the stream. The streaming is I get to chat with people while I'm working. That's kind of cool. I would love to be a comic artist, but for some reason I just can't get humans right. I can draw nature, buildings, cars, machinery, etc. Well, there you go. What kind of nature? Can you draw animals? But people just don't come out right. Funny you mentioned nature, because here's my friend Bob's comic book that he wrote and created and published himself, and it's all dogs. It's all dogs and animals. Well, there's some humans, but the main story is dogs and animals communicating with each other. Cats have their own language, and otters have their own language, and sometimes certain animals can communicate and some can't. So here's all animals. Or you could do robot characters. See, I'm awful at animals. If you look at my Cousteau series, that was a mega hurdle I had to get over, is to learn how to draw animals. I'm quite bad at animals. Give me a second while I work this scanner. Also, my laptop's running out of juice, so give me a second while I check out the scanner and while I grab my plug. Oh, sure, I've only been doing this for 3 years. I think I've come prepared. Nope. All right. Let's see. Let's scan this bad boy. Now, what happened? Oh, I see. I think I see. Give me a second. That's the other thing about this new scanner software I'm working with. It takes forever to scan something. Uh, Nothing beats pen and ink on paper, folks. Let's see. Let's do grayscale. Desktop. Okay, here we go. So now I got to reduce it in size, probably 50%. 50 would be, yeah, 50%. Okay, so now I want to print it. I'm going to print it at, let's see, yeah, 60% maybe. I love that shape. But the tail, I mean, the tail's just going to fly off camera. So we got to have a smaller Pikachu to incorporate his tail. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Here we go. Print. I saw a cool little meme on my feed the other day. It said it was like a book, like a children's book cover, and it said "The Printer That Just Worked" and other fairy tales. That kind of applies to me. I got a kick out of that. Because it never just prints. You've got buttons that you have to push. You've got buttons to push. You got, yeah. It might be a little too small. Let's see. Hmm. Let's try 80% just to see what that looks like. You've got nothing to lose. Nothing to lose by choosing 80%. Here we go. By choosing 75%. There we go. Let's try that. Nice. 75% it is. All right. Let's see. What else is going on? Anything going on in the chat? Chatter? Animals, trees, flowers, mountains. Oh, nice. Sure, no problem. Not going anywhere. So RM Ditto, you're gonna do your own. You're gonna do your own comic with machines and animals, right? How about machine animals? Now we're talking. Like those robot dogs they've got floating around nowadays. Um, Paper. All right, give me a second. I'm going to tape this to my window. I'm going to use a makeshift light box. I'm going to tape this to my window and trace it onto this paper. I'm right here. I'm just not on camera. Let's see. Man, it's warm out. Okay, now we can do a Spidey figure. Got more space for the Spidey figure. Let's see. Okay. RM Dittos, this quick question. Any way I could get a COA for the abs bats you did last week? Also, what would a regular Batman commission cost? Uh, Batman commission would be if we do that on a Batman blank, that would be no extra charge. But if we did regular Batman on a absolute Batman, that would be plus 25. Let me give me a second. I'll show you my Batman. I'll show you my Batman blanks that I have available. 1 second. Here's one. Here's two. Here's three. 1 second. So I got a few. Let me see. Um, I've got the new Batman Eisner nominated series Batman. And I've got Batman The Dark Knight Returns. I've got Batman the Classic. This is probably my favorite Batman logo. Classic Batman. This, I don't know if you can tell, but this is a Batman Beyond. I don't know if you can see through that. But that's Batman Beyond anyway. That's not classic Batman. And then there's Batman versus Robin. I should read some of these. I love Mark Waid. He's probably my favorite comic writer working today. And then I've got 2 Justice Leagues because Batman is a member of the Justice League, right? So I've got 6 choices and then the Batman Beyond. So regarding your COA, I could send a COA for your Abs Bats in with your package. If you were to get a Batman commission today, I could add that to your package, no problem. COAs are $5. You could either tip me the 5, or you can make it official and buy one in the bin. I think it's item number 80. I hope that helps. And I would start on your Batman piece right away because this one doesn't have a strict deadline yet. So we got to find a nice Spidey pose to complement this. Don't forget to vote. It's the championship. Ooh, tight race here. Tight race here on the stream. Which is your favorite? Whoever wins is the 2026 championship winner. I've already tallied up the social media votes. It's very one-sided, so it's interesting to see the different audiences from one social media format to the other. Very curious. So I've tried this Neo Lucida thing. It's a tracing tool based on tools that the masters, the Renaissance European masters used. I can't get this fucker to work. So I'm having a nice exchange with the makers of this, and we're gonna exchange it. I have a feeling that I have a feeling that what a day today is. I have a feeling that they sent me a damaged or incorrectly made product, or I'm just an imbecile and I can't work a very basic tool. One of those is true. It might be I'm an imbecile, but they're working with me, so that's good. Yeah, why does he have to be spinning? He can be leaping like Pikachu, right? He doesn't have to be spinning webs, although webs are fun. Fun to draw. If you do this kind of pose with his arms out, you get to see the webbing under his arms, which is also cool. What would the classic bat logo cover commission cost? A single figure would be 150 in black and white, and the same style as your absolute Batman, which is line art plus figure. And then if you wanted additional things, um, such as a background or an additional figure, those are add-ons in the bin. Or if you prefer, I can just create an item specific for you. Whatever way you like. But most people will go into the bin and they'll purchase item 100, which is single figure black and white commission. And then I'll set Spidey and Pikachu aside to work on your piece. Batman is Miss Mayhem's favorite too, so I bet she's encouraging you to grab a Batman piece. Don't forget to vote for your favorite. It's the championship round. The winner of today's poll is the 2026 Mega Sketch King of the Year. Until next year. See that bug? Look at that bug. He's hanging out near my fruit today. I saw them. A couple of flies, fruit fly type things. It's getting warm out there, folks. You know what happens when it gets warm. Life abounds in all its types. You get a lot more bugs. We had an ant in the bathroom 2 days ago. They're just breeding like crazy now that it's warmer. Ah, what do I do here? I didn't have a picture in my head. Like the absolute Batman, I woke up in the morning with a picture in my head of what the drawing should look like. I have no such picture in my head today. So I'm messing around. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. So sometimes it's cool to just start drawing and see what happens. And then sometimes I have a more clear picture of what you want to draw, and then it just kind of comes out naturally. So I'm liking what's going on here, and then I retooled this. Also, I got some prints made. I got to pick up some prints today as well. Jesus, got a lot to do. Getting ready for Wicked Comic Con right here in Boston, Mass. I won't have that problem again. You just saw me commit murder. What the? I think I'm onto something here. Oh yeah, I'm onto something for sure. Okay, good to know. Looks like for what I want, it would be about 500. So I'll have to wait a couple weeks till I get my next camera repair commission payment. No worries. What are you thinking? That it costs 500. I did buy a COA for the Abs Bat. You really liked my display. I did. I loved the Batmobile. It was so awesome. You included the pre-sketch. Yeah, that's what I woke up with. I woke up with an idea. I jotted it down, and that's not what's happening today. Today, I'm just kind of winging it, and that's why we're doing some retooling, some rethinking. It's perfectly normal. Pieces work differently each time. A little different each time. He's a guy, an artist. He's my first exposure to him as a like a fine art cartoonist. His name is Daumier, Daumier. One of my favorites. He's uh, just great artist, and he would do these gesture drawings, and they were just so awesome that they were just a bunch of wavy lines that all seemed to come together into these awesome drawings. Accurate anatomy, proportions, even a sense of light sometimes. He was a master of light also, but in these particular gesture drawings, it was like this, they were so full of life. It's just great stuff. He was my first. I kind of came from a small town, uh, less educated as far as less cultured as far as fine arts goes. I wasn't really raised with a lot of fine art kind of stuff, and when my first year at Pratt Institute, I kind of had to learn a lot of that stuff. I was exposed to a lot of it, and Daumier, he was an early like art crush. Like I really loved his work. I really responded to the energy in it in his drawing. It's quite great. So I encourage you to chase this guy's work down online and just drink it in. It's great, very great stuff. So good news is I've got reference right here in front of my eyes. So we did that. I was thinking of full figure, solemn, almost sad. Batman stand in Batcave with Batcave background color. Oh, that would be awesome. But you are correct that Batman plus background plus color would be 150, would be about 350, right, on a sketch cover. Mm-hmm. Like he's feeling the weight of everything that has happened up to that moment. Yeah, that's a cool concept up to that point. Will do. So yeah, that would be single figure, would be 150 plus um, background, Batcave background plus color. 350 here on the stream. At a show that would be um, 400. And another thing I like to do is I like to challenge myself because I get a lot of requests for this guy in particular, but also Venom. And I like to come up with poses that I haven't seen before. So here's one I don't recall ever doing. So I'm very glad. I'm very glad with the pose that I've chosen here. It's not standard fair pose that you see a lot. What did you think about the Batman movie? I hope they do as good with the Batman Part 2. Um, Short answer is I liked it. Longer answer is I don't remember too much about it. I remember it looked good. It was dark. It was very yellow. I remember a lot of yellow, which is different. I remember Batman just kind of hanging out with the cops a lot, which is also kind of different. I'm a big fan of hitting the notes of um, Batman is the world's greatest detective. And so I'm a fan of him doing detective work. I like that. The problem is that you have to be very, very smart to do good detective stories, to write good detective stories. I'm not sure many people are that smart. You have to be as smart as Batman to write a good detective story. Not easy. Um, but I remember liking it. I just don't, it kind of went in one ear out the other. We also saw The Penguin, right? That was like a TV show. And I have the same basic reaction to that as well. I remember liking it, but I don't remember a lot of details. I think he had a sister. There's a woman. Uh, I think it was one of the Falcones who she took over the mob or something, and the Penguin was like a lieutenant for the mob or something like that, and it was kind of like a rise of the Penguin kind of story, right? Um, so I remember thinking that was pretty good too, but once again, I don't remember details or line. I don't remember like good lines of dialogue. I should pay better attention. Now you get a show like, say, a TV show called Happy Valley. Now that I can tell you about. That is memorable stuff. I've seen it. We've seen it 3 times, I think now. Seen it 3 times through. This is high quality stuff. The writing is outstanding. The characters are memorable and unique, and you got to see that show. You just gotta. I mean, it's not just me not paying attention to these Marvel movies or DC movies. It's me not being inspired. Like I guess I'm an old guy, so I've seen a lot of this stuff before, and I don't see takes on certain. I don't see visual takes or character designs, or I don't see a lot of stuff that makes me. Jones for more, like I did when I was a kid. Like when I first saw Star Wars, you whatnot whippersnappers have no idea of this experience because you were probably exposed to Star Wars like just on a random whim. But Star Wars was an event when it first came out, and it was getting a lot of press in the the grocery store magazines and stuff like that. So I was looking at it and I was like, what are these characters? What is this robot character and stuff like that? And I was intrigued by the visual look of the characters. And then once I saw the movie, I was like, holy shit, I've never seen spaceships like this. I've never seen monster characters like this. There was so much in that movie. The music was drop dead amazing. It was just something that I had never experienced to that degree before. Um, it's hard for me to see the sixth Batman after I've seen 15 Batmans and go, oh, this, it's hard for me to see a different take, or it's hard for me to see something that was like truly unique. Like I said, what I think would be truly unique in a Batman movie nowadays, if he went really die hard on being a detective. And maybe that takes us over into like just TV detective shows, but maybe it does. I don't know. Maybe that's why the producers and the writers of the movies didn't go there. But I think Batman is more brains than brawn. Yes, he's probably tuned himself to physical human perfection just on will alone, but he's also mental. His mental discipline would be an example to somebody like me, like an inspiration to somebody like me to see somebody behave with this with these mental disciplines, these intellectual disciplines. I think that would be badass. I mean, I have no memory of a specific scene from the Pattinson Batman. I remember a trailer where he beat the crap out of some guy in a uh, subway station, but I don't remember if that scene was actually in the movie or not. Okay, I think we're ready. We're ready for some inks. I saw the Captain America movie with the Falcon, and I'm a huge fan of Sam Wilson, the Falcon. I was a fan of Sam Wilson, the Falcon, since I was a child. I loved his original costume. I loved his red and white revised costume. I loved it when he didn't have wings, but he had a glove. He was very street level. He had a glove with a mechanical claw on it with a line on it. So he would shoot the claw out, and the claw would grip onto the edge of a building, and he'd swing from one building to the other with this claw thing. And I freaking loved that when I was a kid, to the point where I created my own character who had his own glove with a claw on it. And I called him Blackhawk. I didn't know there's already characters called Blackhawk. But when I was a kid, I had never heard of Blackhawk, so I called the character Blackhawk. So this guy, this Blackhawk guy that I created when I was a kid, like 6 or 7 years old, um, he was like a mashup of Hawkeye and the Falcon, and I still love Hawkeye as well to this day. I think he's a great character. I forgot my point. Anyway, my point is I love friggin' the Falcon. And so the idea that the Falcon, who was Cap's partner, should inherit the role of Captain America after Captain America passes in comics or whatever form, that seems very natural to me. Also, it would be natural that Hawkeye would take his place. I have written story ideas where I think Hawkeye would make a good Cap as well. Anyway, that's not the point. My point is I friggin' love the Falcon. So so I go to see the movie with the Red Hulk. I forget what it's called, New World Order or something like that. And I know I've seen it. I've seen the movie. It was on my TV. I rented it at the library. But I couldn't tell you anything about it. I have no memory of that movie. I know it's been on in front of my eyes and I was awake, but it just wasn't anything new for me. It didn't really grab me. It didn't inspire me like a Star Wars did. I don't remember anything about it. Does that mean like after a certain age you just only have so much bandwidth? I don't think it's age related. I blame the writers. Because like I said, I've read stories with the Falcon with Sam Wilson in it that I loved. I'm not sure why I'm talking about this. RM Ditto is laughing. I'm not sure what you're laughing at, but you're laughing a lot. Let's see. I really like the detective work. Also, it was really cool and new to see it visually like in the comics. to see the detective work visually. Hmm. I'm 50 years old. I actually remember the 6 hour wait in line for Return of the Jedi. Yeah, that was a good one. That first half of Return of the Jedi is some of my favorite movies of all time. That's the exact same way I feel about Bats. Growing up, it was always about the fact that he doesn't have powers, he uses his mind. I agree with you about Falcon. Falcon's another one, street level like Batman. Batman is a tough character to keep believable in comics because he's got resources that go beyond the street. Like the Falcon in comics, before he hooked up with Shield and with Black Panther and the Wakandan tech and stuff like that. Uh, the Falcon was street level, homemade technology kind of stuff. And so he hooks up with Black Panther and Wakandan tech or with Shield, and they can provide him with tech upgrades, and so that's kind of cool. Um, so he's kind of like Batman in that regard, except he has a little extra help. So I like that kind of character. Um, and Batman just has the financial resources to basically make whatever he wants. But he also associates with characters like Superman and Hawkman and Martian Manhunter and Darkseid and characters that are way, way beyond his uh, skill set, especially physically. Um, so he's got access to, let's say, I don't know if Hawkman is Thanagarian anymore, but when I was a kid, he was in the Justice League and he was associating with Hawkman and with Martian Manhunter and Green Lantern and Aquaman. And these guys are all, they've got super tech cultures around them. And so, how could Batman not be influenced or not want to get some of that, or share, or why wouldn't his teammates want to share some of that with Batman? So that kind of upgrades Batman so that his street in the comics, his street level uh, crime stuff becomes less believable. Like, for instance, Barbara Gordon gets shot by the Joker, right? Um, I didn't read the comic book story where Bruce Wayne takes Barbara Gordon to the Justice League satellite and they repair her spine. Granted, I just I, granted it's a better story if she remains crippled. It's a mark that the Joker leaves behind. But you need to accommodate for the universe that you've established Batman runs around in. He's got Superman on his speed dial with all that Kryptonian tech, all that stuff in the Fortress of Solitude. He's got Hawkman on speed dial with all this Thanagarian technology and knowledge. He's got a million other resources through the JLA that I need to see explained and explored um, in the comics. Star Labs, right? Star Labs couldn't repair Barbara Gordon's spine. They completely remade Cyborg Vic Stone into this robot machine man uh, with I don't know. I think I saw somewhere where most of his body is machine. Like it's not even half and half. It's like the majority of his body is machine now. I don't know if that's canon or not, but I seem to remember a splash page which showed like hardly any human parts to Vic Stone. So if you could have a dude like Vic Stone, the cyborg, running around, then you can fix Barbara Gordon's spine. The same was with the X-Men with Charles Xavier, and then eventually they kind of did fix it, right? He got a cloned body, so he could walk. His a cloned body, his spine wasn't broken. So Professor X is running around fully, fully. What's the word I'm looking for? He can move and run, and fully flexible because he got essentially got a new body. So that's the. There was another thing that I was curious about was I saw a lot of people trashing recent Batman storyline, and it's funny because I had read it, and it was a Batman storyline where he was fighting Failsafe, his own robot enemy, and he got trapped in space, like literally in space, and had to, with his own costume, he didn't have a ship or anything. He had to maneuver himself back to Earth and land on Earth, go through re-entry and land on Earth and survive um, with only his own wits and his own costume. He didn't have any technology, or he didn't have a spaceship or anything. He had to float in free space, make it to make it back to Earth from the moon, floating in free space and land. He had to enter Earth's orbit and land and survive. And so the story was, way over the top. It was crazy. It didn't go into a lot of detail. But my problem with the story, let's say he could have survived re-entry and landing on the moon. My problem is he never broke a bone. My problem is that he was in a previous fight with Failsafe where he had already broken bones and ribs. So he's doing all this with multiple broken bones. And so it just becomes harder and harder to believe Batman in the comics when those are his stories. When I would much rather have Batman, he got a fragment of a piece, of something on the crime scene that, after analyzing it, could only be Amazo Tech or something like that. And so, oh my God, Amazo, that android adaptoid character, he's back in town. Holy shit! We got to trace this guy. We got to find out where he is, and then figure out a way to beat him. I kind of prefer those kind of stories, like detective type stories for Batman. But like I said, when he's coexisting in the same universe with all these other characters, um, it's hard to do like a straight up, detective story. Like, do Green Lantern versus the Joker. How long do you think that would last? So whenever Batman's in a bind, he gets on his JLA signal ring and said, "Can you take the Joker out for me, please?" Hal. Sure, no problem. Zap. Or if not Zap, then that's a good Joker story. How does the Joker get past Green Lantern with just his wits? That's a cool story. The real answer is you just do what's cool. If it's cool that Batman and Joker are street level characters that go at it, um, and that this kind of interference from Green Lanterns and Supermen and Hawkmen and Hawkwomen and Martian Manhunters If all that baggage just gets in the way of a good story, then you ignore it. Not necessary. I liked it better with Babs in a wheelchair, like a stain left by the Joker working as Oracle because she couldn't be on the streets. Yes, I like that idea as well. Like she wasn't defeated. Um, and she was one of the Bat soldiers that uh, can no longer operate in the field. I like the idea of that, but I also like Batgirl running around too. Barbara Gordon, Batgirl. I wasn't a fan of the failsafe arc. I'm not a fan of that whole Zura and R. It was some. It was a storyline that from the '50s that Grant Morrison brought up. I didn't like it when Grant Morrison brought that character to bear either. I didn't like that storyline. So anything associated with Zura and R, it implies that Bruce Wayne is weaker, and yeah, I don't see Bruce Wayne being that person that would create an alternate personality. It seems I don't like the idea, and so it goes from there. The story better be damn good if you're going to go there um, with this idea. I don't like, and it for me it was okay. It was I read it. It was okay, but it didn't make a mark on me. The same with the Clone Saga at Spider Man. I was there for the first Clone Saga. I didn't like the idea of Peter Parker getting cloned. I certainly didn't like the idea of Gwen Stacy getting cloned. And then every subsequent clone story after that, including the time I was working at Marvel, as a fan, I just didn't dig it. And so, my experience can be totally different from yours. I'm only sharing my opinions. Clone Saga in the Spider-Man universe was over the top for me, and so is Zur and R. Anything associated with Zur and R, the alternate personality that Batman has, I don't need to see anything like that. And so Failsafe just doubled down on the Zur and R kind of stuff. Not a fan. Let's see what else we got. The new Matt Fraction Batman is really good so far. I'm glad. I haven't read it. I have the first issue here in sketch cover form, but I look forward to reading it. Matt Fraction wrote Hawkeye, which I loved, and Matt Fraction wrote Jimmy Olsen. I think it was a 12 issue storyline, which I loved. And much, if you guys haven't read those, you should read those. So I like Matt Fraction's work on those two uh, books in particular. Scott Snyder's taking Ab's bats into a whole new world of awesome. Um, yeah, I mean that's what you want to do with an alternate universe. Is you want to do things with it that you can't do with the regular universe guy. That's another thing I'm not a fan of, by the way. Alternate universe versions of the same character over and over again. It's just it distracts from the main characters, in my opinion. So it's a sign to me when you're doing alternate versions, when you do Scarlet Spider, when you do John Stewart Green Lantern, when you do um, female Thor, it's a sign that your main storyline is not generating any interest anymore, and it's kind of staling. It's getting stagnant, and so I'm not a fan of alternate universe anything. But I'll read. I have read Absolute Batman, and it's okay. It's fun. It's way over the top. It's the I see it as the 2000s version of Batman 66. I love Batman 66. Adam West, Burt Ward. I love it. And he used faux detective. It was crude and humorous, but Adam West Batman is more of a detective than any other movie version of Batman. But Abs Bats reminds me of Batman 66. It's like so far over the top. But he is doing things with his supporting cast. He's got a large supporting cast. His Bruce Wayne's mom is still alive. I think that's cool. Uh, um, Commissioner Gordon. Well, that's one of the things about Batman's universe in general is he has a lot of very cool supporting cast characters, human level supporting cast. But I like that. Something different for Abs Bats is that his mother's still alive. I think that's very cool. And she's like running for mayor and stuff, right? She's a prominent figure in Gotham City. Kind of like that idea. That's very different. But the Batmobile, as if Frank Miller's Dark Knight Batmobile wasn't over the top enough. It's like absolute Batman's Batmobile is this giant 4-story tall uh, uh, tunnel what do you call it, earth mover kind of machine, right? So over the top, it's funny. All right, I think I'm ready for inks. I'm not a fan of multiverses either, and I've not really liked all these crisis events, but Abs Bats is very fun to me. You might be old enough to remember Earth 2, which was technically the 1930s and 40s versions of the Superman, Batman, and all those Golden Age characters. And so there was a similar kind of storyline where Batman and Catwoman they're all older, and so the next generation of superheroes is being developed in this other universe. So you get to see what Batman and Catwoman's kid might look like, and you get to see, Superman with gray hair and stuff like that, and keep the other Superman, the mainstream Superman character floating around. But that's the same kind of spirit in the 70s that Abs Bats is doing today, right? Ideally, you're moving the character in directions that you could not normally do with the mainstream character. But as a kid, I wasn't a fan of the alternate versions of the Earth 2 Batman, the Earth 2 Superman, Earth 2 Justice Society. I wasn't a big fan of those characters. All right. Another series that's really good. Let me see if I can find it. I'm getting notices from my library that I've had this too long. So I have to shoot my video because if you guys haven't read this Nightwing series, first of all, look at that logo. So badass. Look at this logo. Ah, friggin' simple, brilliant with the bat symbol inside, the streamlined bat symbol inside the lettering. This is freaking great design. Also, the art is great. Also, great design. Also, great writing. Super tight writing. We don't need to know 80 years of Dick Grayson history. You just need to know what you know in the moment and you just read it. And oh, yeah, he lives in a universe with all of these superstars around him, but it's about him and and his belief system and things that he does to make the world better. This is a great series with Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo as the artists. That team, just fabulous stuff. So I've read. I think this is volume 4. So I've read all 4 volumes of this, and it's just outstanding stuff. Recommended. Highly recommended. And every once in a while, you'll see Batman in there too, but it's mostly about Dick Grayson. And very, very good. And embraces the history of the character. Um, just great shit. The end. If you haven't read that, Bats fans, where's Miss Mayhem? Is she in the house? Miss Mayhem, you're a Bat fan, right? Have you ever read Nightwing? Totally agree on that Nightwing. It's just great, great shit. Cool to see Dick Grayson. Um, cool to see Dick Grayson elevate to like an A-lister in the DC superhero universe. You know, at first he was the partner, the kid sidekick, and now he's becoming his own thing. And I guess you could say he's been doing that for a while, but I can totally see him like just interacting in the Justice League as Nightwing, the same way that uh, they graduated Cyborg and Wally West to the Justice League. Um, Dick Grayson is just as much of a force, like on par with Batman. I think that's very cool. It was that team that inspired me to do the the Nightwing piece. That I still have. It's in the bin. I drew an 11 by 17 drawing of Nightwing just to do it because I was so inspired um, by that series, and no one ever asked me to draw. No one ever asks me to draw Nightwing, so I thought I'm going to draw Nightwing just because I think he's a great character. Great costume design. Great logo. The logo is so important. One thing I find fun, kind of nerdy, is how many Batman logos there have been. And they're not all winners. This isn't my favorite. But there have been so many Batman logos. But how many Superman logos have there been? I think maybe just. There's really just one, right? I mean, there is no. You can't improve on that. But there are a lot of Batman logos that are cool. This might be my favorite, but there's another one from the late 60s where the letters are inside the bat silhouette, which is pretty badass. And then the very first Batman logo from like the 30s, early 40s, I really like that one too. But Superman, pretty much since his first appearance, right? It's been this logo, and that's all you need. I actually think that's the case with Spider-Man too. I don't think I've seen a logo that beats this one. And this is a tough one to do because you always want to have webs. It should be sitting in webs, right? It should be the logo should be suspended by webs. Otherwise, it's less effective. Vote for your favorite, by the way. Which one of these will be the 2026 sketch cover champion? You decide. And look, I'm making one now that'll probably be in next year's sketch cover madness. Miss Mayhem is in. She hasn't read Nightwing any good. I love it. It's one of my favorite superhero comics of the last 20 years. Go to your local library, Miss Mayhem, and check it out. I noticed one thing because I do case the Whatnot sellers. I do check in with the guys that they sell these bulk boxes, 50 or 60 comics in a single box for like 10 to $100. And Nightwing, this run of Nightwing with Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo is never in these streams. They're never in these boxes because that's what I'm looking for. I've seen quite a few Nightwing runs. That's usually the new 52 or the older 90s Nightwing, but I'm looking for that specific run, like towards the end of the hundreds, like issue 90 to 120, something like that. And I never see them on those streams because I would jump all over those if I did. RM says, I'll have to get you to do a Nightwing after Classic Bats. My comic bins are separated by the different bat logos. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, you have to send me a picture of that too. That's very cool. Yeah, the logos, in the case of Batman, the logos they define the era, right? They define the time period. That's kind of a cool thing. I would love to hear Miss Mayhem's opinion of the Nightwing series. It's like it wants to be dark. It does a lot of dark, has a lot of dark crimes, dark subject matter, but it's like Dick Grayson is not a dark character. Ever since he was a kid in the circus, he's an entertainer. He always seemed to have a humorous side, a lighter side to him, which kind of wonderfully contrasts with Batman slash Bruce Wayne, right? And there's a cool scene towards the end of that particular book that I just showed, which is really nice, between Dick and Bruce. And that stuff I remember. It's weird. There's some things I remember. Arkham Who Laughs. That's a good handle. You should have. Were you here last week, Arkham Who Laughs? I I drew Absolute Batman last week. Anybody reading the Arc M series? Also Absolute Batman related. Is that something we should check out? You can get the Nightwing Tom Taylor omnibus for $100. You know, that might be a thing. I love comic books, the single issues, but I might have to. Um, I don't. I don't buy a lot of new comics. I buy a lot of old comics, but I don't buy a lot of new comics. Um, but that is one that I would think about buying or springing for an omnibus because it's something that I like so much that I would probably reread it if I had it available. And that's how you know you have a good comic book working for you, is when people want to reread it. I reread the first volume of Absolute Batman. I just bought this actually. Do you guys have this? This is a DA Comics exclusive. You can only buy it here on Whatnot. And my buddy Jeff, he's at DA Comics and he's selling them for $5 off cover. It's $15. So I bought one just to try it. So this is like my very first. Is this my first? This is my very first Absolute Batman comic that I've ever bought. So I'm looking forward to reading this. I'm not sure I'm caught up. I haven't read the Joker issues yet. So I'm not really technically not caught up, but I'm just going to read this just to read it. And I did buy Absolute Wonder Woman number 15. That was the first team up with Batman. So those are the only two Absolute comics I have. Oh, I guess this counts as an Absolute also. I don't know. I honestly don't know why I bought this because I don't like slab comics. I bought it to resell it, but I don't know why. I, I don't really, I can't read it. I'd rather be able to read it before I resell it. So I guess I got caught up in the FOMO. Arc M is a location within Snyder's Abs Bats universe, so that issue is a direct tie-in. I know that I read the Bane arc. I think that was the second trade, and yeah, Arc M is like a is like an island off Manhattan. I forget what it's called. Um, it's kind of like an Ellis Island kind of island, which is off the main city, right near the main city, but not connected to it. And they do a lot of experiments on people there, right? Like genetic mutation experiments. And that's how Bane becomes this giant Akira size bizarro monster. And that's how Killer Croc uh, gets mutated, right? And they even had Bruce Wayne Batman in there as well. I guess he escaped, right? But I wonder what. Have you read Arc M, and is it worth reading? Like, where does it take place during Batman's time in the as a prisoner there, or I'm curious what it's about? Waiting for my DA exclusives to get here in the mail. That is a great issue. Oh, is there really? Oh my God, I bid against you for that Abs Bat slab. I wish you had won it. It takes place in the current timeline. So it takes place after Batman has escaped from Arkham and has beaten Bane. Look for that Arkham on eBay in about 2 weeks. I don't know what to do with it. I don't collect CGC comics. Um, I would like to read it. I'm not going to crack it open and read it. It's triple signed, so that's not a comic that I think would be a good idea to crack it open to read it. But um, I would like to read it. Don't forget to vote for your favorite sketch. The winner becomes the 2026 champion. It's very one sided on my other social media. I can't believe how tight it is here. That's so interesting to me. I can send you a copy of Arkham. Okay. Is it like hard to find? Is it like if I went into a comic shop or I went to a convention this weekend, would I have to pay $60 for it or something? Yeah, that DA comic show with all the absolute Batman stuff, that was hardcore, man. There's a lot going on there. Let me see Pikachu's front feet. Okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. He's got little fingerlets. They have reprinted it so you can get a third print for cover price. Okay. You think that's an intentional thing too? Like these multiple printings? Like, why don't they just print a million of these so they could sell through? Or is that part of the fun that you print less than the demand and then have to print more? Or are they genuinely surprised at this point that these absolute books are selling so well? And they underprint them. Oh, the one thing I wanted to check was apparently all of these absolute Batman 20s, apparently they all have like pinches at the staple, right? Isn't that something they're saying? Not on this one. I can see where a pinch may happen or may get really aggravated. And so they're like reprinting these, right? Absolute Batman number 20. I think it is part of the fun. Transformers is always in reprint, but usually with new cover art. Yep. all books were damaged because they put the cardstock cover over covers, over cover A. I read that Scott and DC as a whole were completely amazed at how well received the Absolute Universe was. Daytona says people were ripping off the cardstock covers off Absolute Batman 1 for cover A. Wow. Interesting. That's interesting. So, in other words, cover A was in more demand than some of the alternate covers. Or, I'm not sure that I'm. Are we talking about Batman 1? Absolute Batman. Yeah, so it must be that. Geez, I can't imagine why they would do that. Cover A is usually where the money is at. Interesting. Wasn't there a thing too with the Jim Lee covers for each of the absolutes? Like suddenly they're in demand and people are going bananas over them. I saw Daytona and Jerry Robson's stream the other day. It's kind of funny. You were looking to buy a miniseries, and it didn't have it didn't have issue 1 in it, so he didn't want it, and he gets ornery sometimes. It's pretty funny. He's trying to be polite, but I could tell he was like, dude, it's 30-cent comic book. Sorry. It's pretty funny. Dude, I just got 2 boxes from him today. I am going to. Sonia is definitely getting irritated. I can tell because Sonia's going through a phase where she's getting rid of stuff. She's like getting rid of all the books in her bookshelves and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I'm making up for that space with more comics. So she's getting perturbed. I don't blame her. Um, I should be cutting back myself. Oh, Miss Mayhem. Let's see. The foil covers were, first printing, cover A of Abs Bats, #1, sold out at 300,000 copies. I sold a non-foil Jim Lee cover along with Arc M for $100. Miss Mayhem, I still have my first print Absolute Batman in my PC. Are you going to hang on to it? Have you read it, first of all? Number one, you can't read a series without issue one. Of course you can. Life goes on. RM Ditto says, my first issue of Amazing Spider-Man was 108. I didn't have any problems. RM Ditto, the hot abs bats artists right now are Dan Quintana and the two different man guys. The man boys. Yeah. Yo, Paluk's in the house, VIP. Screw Quintana. His dynamic pricing was ridiculous. Quintana's an interesting situation. We will discuss that. Let me finish the chat. Dude, this is looking great. Thank you, Palooks. Appreciate it. Agreed, says RM Ditto. RM Ditto says agreed with Daytona. Finally starting adding to the jam piece you did for me. I had John Romita Jr. add a sketch. Holy crap. JR Jr. That's a good get. I got to see this when it's done. Miss Mayhem said, yes, I ordered two when it came out, kept the one, and I didn't read. I blocked Heavy Mental because of the dynamic pricing. We're in an interesting space with Quintana. First of all, first thing I'd like to say is, one second. First thing I'd like to say is, where are the credits? Are you shitting me? Where are the credits? Is this the same guy? Will Quintana, colorist. Is this the same guy? If yes, this guy has been in the trenches for years and deserves a break. That's how I look at it. Second of all is you guys all buy you guys all buy this for $15, and your intention is 90, I'd say at least 50% of the time your intention is to sell this for $100. So I'm the artist, I'm the creator. I'm my position is, why shouldn't the creator benefit from that? And you guys you guys can rake me over the coals in the chat. My take is if people are willing to pay $100 for a comic book with his cover on it, then let them pay Will Quintana for it. Because he's the artist, he's the creator. Although I don't know exactly the full story. So if I'm missing part of the story, you guys let me know. And then there's a painting that he did for Absolute Batman. It was either Absolute Batman or Absolute Wonder Woman, but it had Wonder Woman and Batman on the cover, and she's holding the sword, and he's kind of hunched over at the bottom. And that painting was an actual oil painting. It sold for $100,000. Did you guys see that? Now Will Quintana. Talking about Dan. Oh, is Dan Quintana is the artist, not the cover artist? It was hilarious because when I handed him the sketch, he said, "Look, bud, you can't bring an awesome original piece like this and expect me to match." He said that? What? JR Jr. said that? That's crazy. His name is coming up for absolute. LOL, absolutely not. Not Will Quintana. I'm talking about Dan Quintana. So Dan Quintana is the cover artist, and Will Quintana is the grunt warrior coloring monthly comics. I wonder if they're related. They kept raising the price for each short drop in that stream with like 2K in the stream. No shit. I buy all my comics from my PC, which will eventually be in my son's PC. Yeah, some of them get greedy, lol. So let me I just want to check on this painting again. I've looked at it a few times. Where's my history? You're right. It's Dan Quintana. Ah, be nice. Be nice. I don't know if you guys can see this. There's quite a bit of glare, and it's kind of a dark image. But this is some pretty stunning shit right here. And I saw online. I'm not a cover collector either, but I do like this image quite a bit. I think it's extremely well done, and I did notice that the comic with this cover on it is going for like $500 or $600, right? Dan is the cover artist. Will is the guy in the trenches. Yeah, dude. John felt like I put him on the spot because he was like, "There's no way my sketch is going to be as good as yours." Nice. Well, see, now there's another reason to buy your jam pieces, folks. Where are they? Do I have any? I know I have some, but will I be able to find them today? There it is. So what this does is it inspires the next artist to up their game a little bit to match what's already been done. It's the same case with sketchbooks. You ever see guys going around with sketchbooks? A lot of times, that very first sketch in the sketchbook will kind of establish the level of every sketch after that. And so I did. I've had a couple guys come up to me, and I'm their first sketch in the book, and then they'll come up to me in subsequent years or after other shows, and they're like, they see that first sketch that I did in their sketchbook, and so they feel like they have to match that or beat it. It's kind of fun. So yeah, if you want one of these, I got one. 150. 200 at a show. Like if you see me at WickedCon this weekend, that'll be $200. Or this guy here, this will be fun. Let's see what else going on. A lot of chatter. He thought the sketch you did was a printed variant cover. LOL. I sent you pics in a message. Check them out when you can. I will. Thank you. Let's see if we've got a new interface with Whatnot. Let me see if I can get messages. now. I couldn't used to get messages before. Yeah, I'm just getting the spinning wheel. Yeah, I just get the process wheel going, so I can't see messages still. But if you want to send them to my email address, if you want me to look at it at the during the show, Joe at astronaut like the spaceman ink like the drawing liquid.com. In the meantime, vote for your favorite. Which one is going to be the 2026 Color Sketch Madness champion? It's a tight race today, very tight. Let's see. I have gotten that as well too on my remarks on my prints. Like if you go in the auction section and you find like the 11 by 17 prints with the remarks, people don't realize that that is a drawing. They think it's part of the print. I get that a lot as well. So I guess I have to be sloppier with my work. Is that what you guys are saying? I gotta get nice and loose. Drop half a bucket of paint on the print so people will be able to tell. I'll do it too. I don't care. Miss Mayhem says I don't resell either. Donuts. Donuts says Miss Mayhem. Joe thinks we're all a bunch of heathens that resell. You're all a bunch of whippersnappers, man. That's the whatnot philosophy. Buy low, sell high. Claremont really liked your Magneto cover too. Oh, very cool. Wow, you're showing them to these giants. You're showing my drawings to these giant artists. That's so cool. Thank you so much. Magneto was fun. Did that become a jam piece? I think that was just a single image, right? I filled up the cover, if I remember right. That wasn't jammy-ish, jammy design. I have so many comics that I have to sell mine. So it's ridiculous how many I have. And I sold a thousand of my key comics. I had 10 years worth of Amazing Spider-Man. I had 10 years worth of Avengers, Fantastic Four, something else. There's another title in there. X-Men. Duh. It's the big four. The big four Marvels. I sold my 10-year collection of those books to put myself through college. And once again, I wish I had those comics back and didn't go to college. uh, but I've been buying them back slowly over the years. I certainly haven't put a dent in what I had. But a lot of the comics that I read as a kid, I didn't really like either. Like, the Amazing Spider Man comics that are drawn by Ross Andrew. I'm sorry, Ross. I like your work, but I don't love your work. And they're not something I feel like I have to own. But I have bought a few of them, some of my favorites. But I'm mainly Spider Man comics. When I'm recollecting, I'm going backwards. I'm looking for the first 125 issues of Amazing, and pretty much FF's Avengers. Avengers, I've got a significant amount of my collection back. Like what I sold, I got a significant amount of that back. I bought a lot of Avengers on Heritage. Back when Heritage was the jam and not Whatnot, but Heritage was my jam for a while. I was spending money hand over fist every week. I managed to get a sizable collection of Avengers from the 60s and 70s. Um, and I still have those. So I made up for what I had sold, I would say, with Avengers. Is this a commission for someone? Yes, this is for my buddy Eric, who he's at Alternate Universe Comics in Milford, Connecticut. Just sent the pics to your email. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I wish New York Comic Con would send me an email saying that I'm approved for Artist Alley. I don't see your email yet. Let's let it warm up a little bit. Just sent the pics to your email. Don't forget about your Vela collection, your Vampirella collection. I bought a Vampirella collection from Heritage during those Heritage years. I was like, let's see what Vampirella is all about. I actually did it. I bought maybe 25 issues of it in a lot. I love the covers. The covers are fucking fantastic. But there's not a single comic book I read with Vampirella in it that's worth its salt. She's purely just TNA cheesecake illustration material. And the piece that I was knocking off for you, Ange, that is the best illustration of Vampirella ever made, in my opinion. So I've given Vampirella a chance, and there's not a lot going on there. And I certainly, if I'm reading classic Vampirella, the black and white magazines from the '70s, and I'm not impressed, I'm certainly not going to read Dynamite Comics Vampirella. No offense, anybody out there, because the '70s Vampirella is clearly the peak. But Ange, you're the Vampirella master. By all means, enlighten us and tell us what issue to read. Your favorite Vampirella issue. Luke, is this a commission for someone? Yes. RM Ditto says yes, it is. Paluk says thanks. RM Ditto looks super sick. Great idea for a piece. Thank you for your awesome piece. No worries. Paluk says looks awesome, Ange. Did you see it? Oh, I thought you meant this one. LOL. Send me a pic. Yeah, you have to see. I don't think you were here last week, Paluk. You have to see Ange's Vampirella. Or you can watch it on the stream. Is it on my is it on my eBay or fucking eBay? It's not on my stream and it's not on my eBay. It's on my YouTube. You can watch. Is it Ange? Did you see it on my YouTube? It's on your YouTube stream. It was not deleted. Oh, I'm so glad. And I also did the Absolute Batman on the same stream. You guys put me to work last week. Anybody interested in this one? I'll sell it and then I'll do another one for Eric. Looks just like it. I don't think I've ever done that before. All right, let's check out the email. We got a print, a Spidey Pikachu mashup print in the bin. That freaker sold out, dude. I have to go to my. I got to go to my printer when I get a chance, possibly today. That would be great if I could go today. But I had had another 50 prints made of Spider-Man Pikachu. I couldn't. I completely sold out of them at Free Comic Book Day. Just blew through them. Let's see. So, are we getting anything from Palooks? There he is. Palooks. Oh, yes. That's hilarious. Go get him, JR. Go get him, JR Jr. And so that scribbling, that unintelligible scribbling over the X-Men logo, is that Chris Claremont's signature? Yeah, look at Magneto. That's not bad. Dude, man, you got some nice pieces from me. You love a piece like this, but on a Spidey cover, dude. I'll do one for you. I'll do exactly like this. I'll reduce it and transfer one on top of a cover. I'll do it. I can even reverse it, or I can change the pose a little bit. But I like Flying Pikachu. He's kind of. I'm in the mood for Flying Pikachu today. I was saying earlier, um, I like drawing Spider-Man in different poses. Like I get a lot of requests, as you guys know, for um, for Spidey. So I like to take it as a challenge to make sure that each pose that I draw, each commission is something different. So I like this pose. So I can go against my rule and totally reproduce this pose if you like, because I like it so much. No pressure, your call. So Dan Quintana had was it a Whatnot stream? And he was selling his cover. Was it the Scarecrow cover? And he was selling them like 25 at a time. And each time he would grab another set of 25, he would raise the price. Is that what was happening? RM Ditto, I would buy this piece, says RM Ditto. Holy cow, let me catch up. Hold on. I've been MIA due to work and other stuff. Glad I was able to on. Catch you on. Missed seeing you kill it. I'd love a piece like this, but on a blank Spidey cover. Nice. I would buy this piece, says RM Ditto, but I bought the Abs Bats last week, and I want to commission a regular Bats and a Nightwing. Palooka says, yes, sir. Ditto said, "Would I need to send you a Nightwing blank?" That's a great question. I'm gonna say yes because I don't think I've ever seen a Nightwing blank. But let me check. Of course, I had the Batman blanks that I shared earlier, but a Nightwing blank. Nightwing is in Batman's universe, so a Batman, um, or a Batgirl blank is not out of the question for Nightwing. But I don't think I have a Nightwing specific. No, I don't. I don't. I have Harley. No, I do not. I honestly don't remember ever even seeing a Nightwing blank. That doesn't mean they don't exist. I just haven't seen one. But it's something that I could look for at the show this weekend, Wicked Con. Maybe they'll have a guy who's selling blanks there. Um, so yeah, if you want a Nightwing piece, it's probably a good idea to send me a Nightwing blank just to cover your bases in case I don't find one at the show this weekend. And send me a note on at this email, and I'll give you my address. I'll hold you to it. Just got to recover a bit from the con. Lots of funds used there, I bet. What show were you at with John Romita Sr. and Chris Claremont? That's kind of slimy he did that. What's the slimy part? RM Ditto says Scarecrow cover. That's the one that was like a close up and he's got button eyes and stuff. It was a dynamic stream. And yes, they raised the price significantly every time they listed a new batch. I'll send you my Nightwing blank when I commission it. Thank you. Paluk says I gotta get going, but I'll definitely be on more often. Thanks again, Joe, for the awesome pieces. Thanks for the photos. Can't wait to see what else you come up with. Cheers. Thanks for sending me those pictures. That was very nice of you. Glad you liked the pics. Went to Comic Con Revolution, and oh, that was the Ontario show you were talking about. I remember you mentioning that. Nice show. Good gets on your part. John Romita Jr. gets to draw on a jam piece that I started. That's pretty cool. I did have Jay Lee. One guy did. He did a jam piece of mine. It kind of looked like this with three spaces, and he had Jay Lee fill in the characters, all three of them. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Jay Lee, he's a fave. Jay Lee, he's what do you call that? He's like a black swan. He's one of those rare guys who doesn't have to draw backgrounds or a lot of elaborate environments in his stuff. He gets away with just drawing figures. I'm a little jealous, but I also like drawing backgrounds sometimes. So I'm a little jealous that he gets away with it, but not that jealous. You look at a Jay Lee comic book and count how many backgrounds are in it. How many panels have backgrounds? If a typical comic book has 100 panels in it, I'd say a Jay Lee comic has 12 panels with some semblance of a background. And by background, I don't mean what I was drawing last week, although that's definitely a background. I mean anything like a tree branch or a forest, something simple. I mean anything that establishes environment. So I like how he gets away with that. I like that for him. If I handed in stuff like that to an editor, I wouldn't get a gig because they would be like, you gotta draw figures in the environment. We gotta see where these characters are interacting. We need a context. Next, but Jay Lee gets away with it. I think I've met Jay a few times and talked to him. He's a very cool guy, very laid back. I think I might have said that to him at one point. I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't say it to him. I wouldn't be surprised if I did say it to him, I mean. Have a great rest of your day. Same to you, Palooks. Thanks for stopping by. Everybody who's just floating in and floating out, make sure you vote for your favorite. Today's vote decides the champion of the entire year 2026. Who gets to wear the sash? Joe, I have to write up a quote estimate for a camera repair job, so I have to turn my head away for a bit, but I'm still listening. Okay, no problem. Do your business. That's why I'm here 12 to 5, because I'm doing my business during the day. You guys got to do your business during the day too, man. I get it. Is Daytona still in the room? Daytona, you going to Wicked Con this weekend? Or are you spent out thanks to Jerry Robson? No. Be that way. Hey, by the way, I meant to send you an email, but if you're still in the room, thank you for the link to the drivers, the printer drivers, the scanner drivers for the Mac. I had been to that website, but I didn't think to connect my 11 by 17 scanner to my laptop. I was looking for a driver that would go with my iPad. And you sent me the link, and I was like, oh, I've been here already. But to I hadn't thought to try to get a driver for the laptop. So I did find a driver for the laptop. So my scanner works. My 11 by 17 scanner works. It connects to my laptop. So that's good. The only snag is that once the image is scanned, I have to move it to my iPad. So it's one extra step that I didn't used to need to do, but at least I can use my 11 by 17 scanner. So I've got a dozen New Zodiacs pages that I was afraid I was going to have to scan twice in halves and then reassemble them. I was not looking forward to that. So thanks in advance for sending me that link. I appreciate it. Very kind of you to do. Saving for Terrificon. Daytona says legacy devices are fun to get working. Computer support used to be my job. Oh, no kidding. Well, there you go. So, is it too much to ask you to get me access to connect my 11 by 17 scanner to uh, an iPad? Is that impossible? I have read online that it's impossible. I'll take what I can get at this stage. I'm I'm definitely in denial about. I'm definitely going through the stages of grief about my old computer, and it wasn't perfect, and it was glitchy as shit. But at least I could work with it, and I could work quickly with it. But right now I'm having a lot of trouble with Clip Studio Paint. just not grasping it. And there are a lot of similarities with Photoshop, which, but not enough that make me go, why didn't they just do this? When I hit M, I want a marquee tool. I don't want something else. I don't know. Complaining again. I'll stop. Oh, I should be erasing. Shit. I'm jumping around too much. Do that later. All right, let's erase. I don't know because I'm not a Mac guy. No worries. Thank you for whatever you did. Donut says my car maintenance is going to set me back a bit. Me too. My car is in the shop as we speak. My mechanic popped a disc in his back, so he is not. He has not been working. Last time we drove by his place, it was closed. I imagine it's a fairly serious injury. So my car has been sitting in his lot for this is the second week now. Let's see. Donut says, let's see. Daytona said I haven't worked on Macs since the early 2000s. Donut says I have a Mac. It's fairly easy to set up. Joe, just use Google and YouTube. ChatGPT can walk you through it. LOL. Yeah, that's a good one. If your legacy scanner has Wi-Fi, you should be able to connect to an iPad. I don't believe it does. I have to plug it in to the laptop. But it's something I should look into. Maybe I'll write that down just to check, make sure. I have a fairly new 3-year-old printer slash scanner that I had to replace because the Wi-Fi just stopped working. Just on Tuesday it was working fine, and then on Wednesday it wouldn't work. The Wi-Fi stopped working. Epson claimed it was a hardware error, and I had it replaced. So that was about a month or so ago. Make sure scanner is connected to Wi-Fi. I don't believe it is, but I will look into that. Nathan says you might be able to connect the scanner to an iPad. There is an add-on network card. Might be able to install on a local network and access via Wi-Fi. Oh, isn't that interesting? I'm going to screen grab that. That's too much to write. RM Ditto says, hey Joe, sorry about the OS in your iPad doesn't support external devices that uses drivers. The only way to connect them would be through Wi-Fi. That sounds like that sounds like an AI response. If your scanner has Wi-Fi, poor Audi TT. Yeah, you need a router to connect to the scanner over the Ethernet. Look at all this shit. I gotta screen grab all this for review. I can't stand it when human beings say, "Oh, I'm sorry you're leaving our service," or something. It's like, no, you're not sorry. If you were sorry, you would fix the problem. If you were sorry, you would give me a complete refund. If you were sorry, you would give me free Verizon for a year. They should, they should ban people from saying they're sorry, including AIs. Finding the card might be hard and or expensive. Yeah. Thank you. I'm definitely screen grabbing these for my notes for the future. All right, let's erase this. Another reason why I love the simplicity of pen on paper. Just the simplicity of drawing makes life manageable. Yeah, you see that smearing that just happened? That's why we don't like to do a lot of finished inks before we erased. If you didn't see it, go to my YouTube channel and watch it. Watch it smear. See that? Look how light. Look how the eraser pulled up the ink on that line there. It's no longer black. It's now gray. That's why we erase early in this stage. Wow, that must have been an expensive scanner. I have a, what was it, a 10,000, what is it? 10,000 XL, 11 by 17. I think I got it in, I want to say 2008. It was before I moved to Massachusetts. Um, and it works like a charm. One of the few things that really doesn't give me any trouble. The only glitchy thing about it is I tend to scan my images really high res. So I'll scan bitmap. I'll scan a drawing like this, bitmap 1200 DPI, and if I try to rotate the image, it gets all pixelated and weird looking, which is a cool effect that I would like to duplicate. But it doesn't help me if I can't rotate it in bitmap. Uh, I can't rotate a bitmap scanned image. I have to convert it to grayscale, and then I can rotate it. Not a big deal, easy workaround. The hard work, the high res scanning, the sussing out of black versus white without any grays is done in the bitmap scan. So when I convert it to a gray scale, all of those random grays had already been worked out in the bitmap scan. So this is all probably not interesting to you guys, but um, it was a minor issue, is my point. Now I have to scan with a laptop. I have to somehow transfer the laptop image over to my iPad. And I'm just starting this process this week. I'm just learning about all this shit this week. So there may be an easier way to do it. But right now, I have an external hard drive that I use as my hub, the center for all my files. So I have to take the laptop image, I put it onto my external hard drive, and then I connect the hard drive to the iPad, and I pull the file, I transfer the file here, and then transfer it over there. It's kind of like a leapfrogging process. There may be a way for me to connect the laptop directly to the iPad. I haven't found that yet. I haven't figured that out yet. I have had a device, looks like this. It's got a port with a whole bunch of USB, blah, 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 different kind of ports. I have had all of these items connected to the port at once, and they don't all recognize each other. Both of these recognize the hard drive, which is all I really need to do. But I did not see that this laptop recognized the iPad, and I did not see that the iPad recognized the laptop. So they were all connected at one time. So I haven't figured that out yet. So until I figure that out, all images, all scanned images go to the exterior hard drive, which is my central hub for all my files, and then I'll move the file onto the iPad. And I have yet to work on an image yet. I have yet to do that on the iPad. Right now, it's all just basic shit. I've got about 4 prints in various stages of production, and I would love to get some of those done for this summer. I'm gonna I'm going to WickedCon this weekend with nothing fresh. I just got back from Free Comic Book Day and from Little Giant. with nothing fresh. I gotta have something fresh at every show. I'm going to Fan Expo Philly next weekend. I'll probably have nothing fresh, but I'll be in Philly, and so I haven't been to Philly in about 20 some years. So I'll at least have something that they haven't seen in 20 years. So that's okay. And I'm going to Heroes Con a couple weeks after that, and I haven't been to Heroes Con in 20 years. So that'll be good. I'll have everything I have will be new to them. Couldn't use a USB transfer from laptop to iPad. I'm not sure I tried that. Let me screen grab that. Let me write that down. Try USB. Well, neither laptop nor iPad has a USB port, but I could try to find something that can directly try finding a cable or something that will directly connects laptop to iPad. Thank you for that. Brainstorming here. Let's see what else. Hi, honey. Sonia's here. We're going to sign off in about 20 minutes. I think you are better. Hold on a second. That must have been an expensive scanner. Yeah, it was about 3Gs if I remember right. I'm on eBay. I use a retracting makeup brush, but the scanner, like I said, the scanner is a gem, and I work 11 by 17. It has given me no trouble. It has no problems. The idea of giving up the 11 by 17 feels like it feels vulgar. It feels like a crime. It works fine. I use a retracting makeup brush to wipe off eraser shavings from my sketches. A retracting makeup brush. Okay, maybe you can send a picture of that. Half the time I just just use my hand. I go like this. I do like hearing what your workload is. Oh yeah, you like hearing it because you're not doing it. Couldn't use USB transfer from laptop to iPad or Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. Yeah, I got to figure out the Bluetooth Wi-Fi shit. Bluetooth Wi-Fi connecting laptop to iPad. Let's see. Daytona says, I think you're better, easier to connect iPad to laptop. Yeah, I think it might be. That sounds like something easier just because they're both fairly new devices. And like I said, the scanner was, I think it was a 2008 purchase. We can get together in Philly, says Ange. Awesome. Then find a NIC for scanner and figure out network settings. What's an NIC? Network something? Then you could Wi-Fi. Mr. Roy Toys. M. Donut says I will. LOL. I mostly transfer files from my phone, tablet, via Bluetooth. I mostly transfer files from my phone, tablet via Bluetooth and use USB. Miss Mayhem said, that's awesome. You're going to PhillyCon. If you have time, try and visit Joe's Comics. Comics R Us booth. I buy a lot of stuff from him. Miss Mayhem says hi. Oh, let me grab that. Joe's Comics. Comics R Us. I will. Let's see. Let's see if I what the show is like. If I'll get a chance to wander a little bit. Network interface card. And that's what will allow the scanner to connect to Wi-Fi. No. Okay. My head hurts. Look how easy it is to just take a pen, put it on the paper, and draw. That's what computers need to be. They need to be that simple. It will allow the scanner to be hardwired to a router. So I'd have to buy a router as well? Or is that the cable router that I have already in my house? And then connect to Wi-Fi. I don't know how your home network. Yeah, I have cable. I have a router. Cable provides TV and web service. I always wondered how people could get rid of cable TV. I mean, we don't have 1,000 channels, but we have television service. We must have about 20 channels. Very basic, the smallest cable route. But I always wondered how people could have computer internet connection without cable. Are they doing it completely uh, wireless, like from a satellite or something? Computers are a lot easier than 20 years ago. I don't know your home network setup. Cable company routers aren't that great for networking. Cable and internet are the same connection. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I always thought. Too much chat. This thing should have been done by now. Even phones use the same connection. Yeah, sure. That's what I thought you meant. I used to install cable internet access in the 90s. Wow, you did it all, man. You got a resume that looks like a phone book. Whatnot whippersnappers don't know what a phone book is. Let's see. Back then, cable companies were used as a filter to block cable signal. Cable companies would use a filter to block cable signal but allow internet. Okay. Don't forget to vote because I'm going to be signing off soon. Get on your voting hat and Choose the champion for 2026. Email sent, says Donuts. Let's see what it Donuts has to say. A lot of chat today going on. I don't mind it. I'm just not getting a lot of work done. So Sonia is home, and I'll be signing off soon. Let's see. Waiting for Donuts to send my email. I have not received it yet. No worries. Cool. Oh, bad. Check spam too. You've emailed me before though, right? Makeup brush. Here's what the makeup brush looks like. It's nice and soft and won't scratch or smudge. Maybe give it a try. My dad does show me this. Oh, I have something kind of like that. It's not a makeup brush, but what is it? This is kind of like one. I use it for the screen stuff. I apply ink to it and spread it over my screens. But yeah, I could do that to erase. It seems like a lot. I mean, it's just so much easier to go like that. But thank you for the advice and the photo. I appreciate it. You'll definitely keep your sketch covers 9/8 when you're working with something as fine as that. Instead of my big meat hands wiping across it. LOL. Let's see. Okay. Let's do the final tally on the championship. I have a little bit of privy. The winner on Whatnot is clearly number 2. It's clearly decided, 55%. That is a majority. 16 votes. And the winner, or the second place, is number 1, 43. 43? 50, yeah. Wait. Oh, what's going on? Did I misread that? 53% of the vote. And then 47% of the vote, which is 15 votes. And I'm kind of privy to the social media because I've already tallied it. So on the social media, the Instagram and the Facebook and the Blue Sky, there's a clear winner. It's a landslide. There's 3 votes for number 2, and there's 5, 10, 15, 21 votes for number 1. So 36 votes for number 1. The champion is 5D in the house. 5D just sent me a picture of this sketch cover inside a slab. He got a 9/8 champion. He got a 9/8 on his sketch of this exact sketch. So congrats to 5D. Are you around? I haven't seen 5D all day here, so maybe tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to have the battle royal between, or the battle royale between the color champion and the black and white champion, and that's the battle royale. And then I'm going to take a break from all these sketch madnesses. So tune in tomorrow, Thursday at noon Eastern time, where I'm always here, and we'll do some drawing and we'll do some battle royaling. Okay. So I've got these cool top loaders now for the sketch covers. We had a mishap a couple weeks ago where one of these sketches actually got damaged. It was inside. It was inside a Gemini mailer. It was inside a Gemini mailer between two pieces of cardboard and between several free comic books. So I had a slab that went inside a Gemini mailer, got sent to this guy, and got damaged. That's some aggressive. That's some aggressive destruction right there. So my first Gemini mailer damaged book. So I bought these. I bought these top loaders to hopefully protect them a little further. But I don't honestly know if something to the level of what this guy's piece got damaged. I don't know if these will help. Like in other words, if the Gemini mailer got run over by a truck, I don't, and that's what caused the damage to this guy's piece. I don't think this top loader would help, but maybe there's some security here. You can check my recommendations here on Whatnot. I pack really, really, really well, and so I'm not convinced that a top loader would help you if a Gemini mailer package is going to get damaged to the level that this guy's package was damaged. But I am going to try it. So anybody interested in a jam piece, let's put the jammer up there. And I'll just run a couple of these. Jam. Jam. Hello. There we go. Spidey Jam. Anybody interested in a Spidey Jam piece? Starter upper. You should see, I'll show you this picture of John Romita Jr., I'm sorry. He's about to draw on a previous jam piece that I did. I'm going to show you this picture right now. Hold on. So the piece is up for auction, but I'm going to show you this picture. Palooks just sent me. Okay, you ready? Here's a picture of Mr. John Romita Jr., A-list classic giant artist, drawing on one of my jam piece starter uppers. So you could totally do this. Take this piece to your next convention and have some of these giant artists fill in the spaces for you. And it's cool because there's an overall design, so you've assigned the space. It's not like people just randomly signing or adding signatures or adding remark this big or color. You know what I mean? It's like you can actually establish the aesthetics of the piece. You hand over this artist, and this artist will say, well, I don't have color, but I can do a badass black and white drawing here. You can have the design of the character relate to the central piece. There's a lot of things you can do with a jam piece. Did I ever work with JR Jr.? He did a cover for one of the Spider-Man one-shots that I worked on. It was called The Parker Years. And I might have met him once or twice, just in passing. But we've never sat with each other and had a long discussion or anything like that. I did a book called Spider-Man: The Parker Years. It was a one-shot, and he did the cover for it. I've shown it on the stream before. I don't have a copy handy. I do not. But that's the closest I got to working with him. And loved his Iron Man. His run on Iron Man is my favorite John Romita Senior or John Romita Jr. work. With Bob Layton, my buddy Bob. He was the inker. I know there's a Venom Jam piece somewhere. Here it is. Again, it comes in a top loader now. Although I gotta be honest, I pack really well, and I don't see the force necessary to damage a piece in a Gemini mailer. I don't see it. I don't see this adding any extra protection, but it does look cool. So here's a Venom Jam piece. We'll do 30 seconds on this one. I don't have a picture of John Romita Jr. working on a piece like Venom, but grab yours today. I'll see you guys this weekend at Wicked Comic Con too in Boston. Free admission. Is it the Fan Expo that you're going to be at in Philadelphia? Yes, Fan Expo Philadelphia. Have a great day, Joe. See you later, RM Ditto. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming by. What's this guy? Ooze. I call this Ooze. This one's $350 at a show like Wicked Con or like Fan Expo Philly. But for you guys, I take $50 off. I like this. I don't know, something weird going on with this white splatter. It's like rising up. I don't know. It's like their souls. Their souls rising. Like the symbiote is sapping their life. I don't know. It just happened. I was messing around. It looks cool. That's all I can say. Did I run that already? Here we go. One more time. Oh, I did. Did I do 30 seconds? Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. 30 seconds. This is a cool opportunity to paint over the logo. If that works. Daredevil and a top loader. They also come with this weird kind of film over the top. I don't know why they do that. To prevent scratching, I suppose. But it just seems like a waste. Daredevil. But it is protective for sure. Start auction. Here we go. Daredevil. The Born Again. Success of Born Again Season 2. I got inspired to do a Daredevil. This is on a facsimile of the very first issue. So if you haven't read the first issue of Daredevil, Run, Don't Walk, or just buy this. First issue of Daredevil is pretty good. I have issue 2. That's the earliest issue of Daredevil that I own. I bought it at an auction when I was like 12 years old. Deadpool Team Up. Deadpool, I call this Deadpool Projectiles. Single figure in black and white is 150 plus color is 100. It's there's no real background, but I did color the background. Usually that would be extra, but not today. 250 total for Deadpool. This would be 300 at a show like Wicked or Fan Expo Philly or Heroes Con. Anybody interested in some anybody interested in some art for $25? TMNT. Excuse me. Head sketch, head slash torso, $100 here on Whatnot. 150 at a show. Grab yours today. Comes in a top loader. Congratulate the champion. 2026 champion of all the sketches. 64 sketches represented this year. This guy won the 32 colored ones. He's the best of all the colored pieces. It's incredible. Thanks to you guys for voting. I appreciate it. All right. Here we go. I think we're done. Perfect timing. It's almost 4 o'clock. Yeah, this should have been done. This should have been done around 2 o'clock. You guys got me chatting today. All right, so I got to break down and get this done. I hope you guys enjoy your day. I'll see you tomorrow, Thursday at noon for sure. I got to go to the dentist first thing in the morning. But I'll see you at noon Eastern. I hope you have a great day. Talk to you. Maybe we'll raid somebody today. Thank you, Donuts. Have a great rest of your day as well. You're the best. You guys are the best. Don't go changing. I'm going to raid OG. Let's give OG some attention.